Okay, Peter Schultz here. I'm back again where I will attempt now to even out the dose plan that I attempted to make in the previous video. So, first off, I will go to all the segments, through, and you can see this the cold area over here. See, this is the edge of the breast is getting too cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt first to reduce my arm segments to 5 Monitz units, or approximately 5 Monitz units each. Just below 5 is also okay, but not too much. So 4.8 down here on segment 1.2 is okay. So you don't need to look at the dose up here. I'm simply correcting it down in the bottom. And this one, 2.2 is 5. I'm going to change this one to 4.5. Now these might seem like insignificant corrections, but they do work out in the end. Often. Let's see. Yeah, not bad. Okay. Now I might do some small corrections on the fields now, simply the way they're made. So I'm going to quickly try to correct field 1.3 to what I can see here in Beam's Eye View. Yes, calculate. Then I'm going to modify field 1.4 and so on, so on. Of course, you can sit and do this all day and you would probably think you're wasting your time. So it's sort of having a bit of experience in what will help you. But what I'm doing right now is simply just making sure that when I finish up the plan, I don't have to go back and change too many things, because that might ruin ruin the split field in the end. So I'm just going to check. Okay, so dose in the edge of the breast is better than before. It's covered with around 100%. That's not bad. Now I'm going to check from the medial side. Not bad. It looks pretty good. Field 2.2, field 2.3. Oh, see here. If you look over at this area, switch it off here. You see there's a cold opening right here. I'm just going to check which field it's from. Nope. Nope. So let's be 1.5 maybe. Yeah. 1.5. So I just need to change field 1.5 a bit. Oh, you can also see it over here. Woohoo. So I'll correct that, and I'll also correct. See, it's getting a bit warm between the tendons and the fields for the axillary area. Good. That ought to do it. What I will do is I'll also go in and look at my field number 5, the field going into the flank field. I don't know what you call it, and check how well it still fits. So I'm going to again take the slider, move it up until it shows me where it's a bit cold, and you can see it turns out that there's an area here where it might be a good idea to include it. And I can also just check over here on the axial view, and it looks as if it is a good idea. So I'm going to put I'm just going to enlarge it there, and I'm just going to take a guess and try to draw it out to here. And put those on. Hopefully it'll turn out as I want it to. Yes, and with a Dmax of 104.5. That I like very much. And actually, what I will do now, I'll attempt to put a arm segment on field 5. and see if I can't just put a little bit more dose into it. Right, right on the chest wall area. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply just freehand it and draw around this cold area and where the chest wall is. Voila. I'm going to check. Yeah, not bad. And I've also steered outside the warm area down here. You see there. And up here I might have some problems. But I'm going to see if it turns out to be a real problem or just a little problem. Now, it all depends on my dose max. 104.5 is not a problem. Alright, so that's not bad. See, this area here is blue. I'm just going to go and look through my fields and check if there's anything I can do to correct that. Okay, it might be field 2.3 and 1.6. 2.3 and 1.6. So I'm just going to go back and check. 2.3. Yeah. Easy. Okay. Now I'm just going to go back and correct that. Okay, calculate. Now this might not be the quickest way, but it's a very sure way to make a good plan. It usually, I mean, it just works very well. Because you should sort of you could get fixed all these small little stupid cold spots that might turn up. Field 2.3 actually has to get a bit bigger. So I'm just going to scroll up there. Okay, so here it's good. And now I'm going to check how far down. So I'm going to scroll again over here on the actual picture. I'm going to check how far down. So this is actually from here to here. I'm just going to open it up and hope that this is what I need. There we go. It also matches the curvature of the breast. So I guess that's just how it is. 104.6, that's just great. So I don't have a very high Dmax. And actually, if you look here at the medial side, I can actually change field 2.3 a bit. That's how far my Dmax has fallen. Now I just need to correct by showing all them. So I'm just going to change right up here. Hopefully it'll turn out nice. And then I'll proceed to do the split field. So I have this. I'm just going to look it through at 97%. That's, if it's covered with 97, then it's not bad. Okay, so we have a little bit of underdose around chest wall. Let's see what I can do about that. Probably needs some dose from the medial side and probably also from field 5. So now lateral side, lateral and medial side. So first off, I'm just going to check if it's in the field here on the lateral side, field 1.6. And for some reason I have excluded that part from my field. That's a bad idea. So I'm just going to correct it. Yeah. Because there's no point in finishing up the plan if there's finishing up the coverage of the split field area where the parsonal lymph nodes, if I can't cover the area right around the chest wall. Now this is a blue area and it's not bad, and I guess I can finish it off by looking at field 2.3. Okay, so I need it's not enough. I need to put a field 2.4 on, which is still before I split it. And put those on. Good, good, good. This is actually turning out to be a nice plan. And we need to remove the structure there, and I'm simply just going to put this narrow field in, move the slider again so I can see where I want it to be. Okay, and I'm going to fit this part right here along those there, and take a guess and try to cover it right here on the outside, and let's see how it looks when I put it back to 97. And I'm going to put on the PTP structure just to check if it's all included. Look, right down here in the edge. See, right there in the middle. I should see if I can just put a little bit closer. There we go. Perfect. Oh yes. That's like a 97. That's 98. That's not. Okay, so that ain't bad. It's not perfect, but I suppose it's good enough. Now I can see right here in the bottom it's a bit cold where I can actually put it into field number 5. So I'm just going to correct that. Where is this gone? There. All MLCs. There we go. Okay. So I've forgotten the bottom part of the breast in field 5, so I'm just going to expand it a bit. And therefore I also need to change the size of field 5.1 so that it also fits. Also, so it's the same size so I can merge them. And field 5.0, that's minus 18. So minus 18 in field 5.1. Good. Calculate. So now I feel I have a pretty even plan. I've covered the breast pretty well. And I'm going to stop trying to cover and go the breast and go over to trying to cover the axillary lymph nodes and the parasternal lymph nodes. So I'm going to do the split field first, and then I'm going to do the axillary lymph nodes. Now I'm going to find the field where I'm not covering anything over. I'm not the MLCs here on the inside. All these MLCs are as the same as the main field. So this is going to be my split field. This is going to be my field 2.5. And this is where it's split because I'm going to move it into the middle. And if I'm lucky, the distance of the MLCs is so little that I can put it all into one FieldinField sequence. It doesn't have to put it into 2 sequences. Now, whoopsie. So you see now I've split it. I put it on the other side of where the dose is warm. And I'm going to go back and check if it actually fits like it's supposed to. So I'm going to put PTVN on and the parasternal lymph nodes. We call them CTVN IMN for mammary nodes. Okay, there's too many fields on. I'm sorry, I just lost track a bit here. Alright, so we're going to cover it with 90%. I'm just going to check here. Okay, this isn't bad. I put the field on, and I'm just going to put some dose on it and see how it works out, and then correct it, because it's very difficult to see how and where it might overlap with some hot areas. Not bad. So this is turning out well. I always look at it in Beam's eye view. I always look at it at 95%. So it turned out pretty well. I didn't get a hot spot inside this, so I'm just simply going to copy it and put on field 2.6. If you notice, I don't really make that many fields with more than segments with more than 5, 7 monitor units, but sometimes I make a lot of segments, and it works out just fine. Now you notice here all the MSCs are moved into the middle. I don't keep them on the outside. Where the MSCs on the segments they reach each other, they're on as close to the middle as possible, because then it makes it more likely that I can merge all the fields. If you put them on the outside, so if you put them out here, there's a chance I can't even do it because it's such a big patient, but then it might not merge it. So I always put it on the edge of the main fields, MLCs. Let's see if I'm close. Yeah. So they're basically right above each other. Here. This isn't bad. This is pretty close. Now, so we have field 2.5 and 2.6. I'm just going to compare them by putting them both on and then switching on all MSC apertures to Beam's eye view. Okay, so there's a difference, and it looks like they will give something different to the plan. And see, this is field 2.6, and it's fitting to the area where I need dose. I'm going to just put 90. Oh, up here. It ain't necessary. Where am I? There. Okay, so I'm just going to put dose on and see if it turns out nicely, as I expect. Yeah, so you can also see, because the MLCs are so close to the PTV, it's very hard to get good coverage here. I'm just going to look further down at, well, CTV is almost covered. I can just check my monitor units, they're not bad. I might put the weight up a bit now, the fields. 105.9 on field 2.6. I might even make a field 2.7. I will do that. Now, because these fields are so small, they don't really drag that much dose from the normalization of the plan, and therefore I can just keep making them and pumping in dose without worrying too much about the rest of the plan. Now again, I have it on 95, and in Beam's eye view, I'll draw down to the edge of where it's green here, and then double check how well my coverage is, because now I'm gonna really pump in some dose. So this is 90, and I'm gonna check if it. Oh, you can see here it's not completely. It's a bit too small. So I guess I have to try to make it a bit bigger. And up in the top, I do not need it so big, so I'm just going to correct it a bit. There we go. Micromanagement. I think this will turn out pretty well. I'm just going to correct field 2.6 a bit. So it's all these small corrections. And okay, I had Dmax of 106.9. Now that's pushing it a bit too far. Or at least I can't put any more in right there. At least not if I can avoid it. So the coverage in the bottom here is pretty good. So I'm just going to switch 2.7 off and look at the coverage of CTV. I've actually squeezed in a lot of dose here, you see, with really almost no margin. Now in the top I need a bit more dose. And I guess I have to put it in, yeah, from the front side. So I'm going to put in field 2.8. I might actually check if there's any problems with the FieldinField before I do more than field 2.8. So I'll attempt to just merge the plan and just check if it's mergeable, so that I don't get any surprises later. Now the problem with the coverage is primarily in the top of the plan, but I'm going to attempt to put in as much dose as possible all the way down to the bottom. But you see here the field doesn't really cover the lymph nodes here, so I'm just going to correct it a bit, and it's up here in the top. I'm just going to slide the MLCs a bit back. And then again, put some dose on. And hopefully it'll turn out nice. Now that ain't bad. I guess, let's see, okay, so hotspot is down the bottom. I can change that. I can fix that. So I'm just gonna move in the MLCs like that. So even though I don't really have any margin from the MLCs to the PTV, it is possible to squeeze in a lot of dose this way. So okay, Dmax 107.2. I can just go back and check in which field this is, which field is causing it. Okay, so it's on the leading edge of these MLCs here. I'm just going to move them in a bit, like that, to attempt to get my Dmax just a little bit down. 107. It's not bad. Now I can sit here and correct from now to forever. So, but it all counts. But I'm just gonna. I assure you, I could get the Dmax lower if I wanted to. I'm just gonna go back and see how the rest of the plan is looking at 95. I'm gonna put CTVP breast on and PTVP breast on and just take a look and see how it looks. Coverage looks pretty good. And let's put it at 97. Let's see if it's still covered with 97% dose. It is. Okay, so now I have to do the axillary lymph nodes, and that will be in the next video. So I'm just splitting it up a bit, but I'll put it into the next video, and it'll be pretty quickly finished. Now, one thing I haven't done, I haven't actually looked at our plan objectives to check if the lung dose is too high. Now we use a V17 lung. Maximum of 35% of the lung can get 17 gray, and that's at 27.3, so that's fairly average. And the coverage is pretty good too. 97.3% of the breast is getting 95% dose. Not bad. But my CTVN coverage isn't good. And look at my IMN coverage. So more than 95% of IMN is getting 90% dose. So we have all these plan objectives so we can check if the quality is good. Anyway, next video will be here in a moment. Bye bye.